What's up everybody, it's Yassine here from Crux Tech, and I know it's been a while since I've posted any new videos. That's because I've been busy wrapping up the semester. I've had some data recovery issues. Do not export 4K video at max resolution on a dual core CPU, just don't. And finally, I have been installing some new lighting. So yeah, I've been pretty busy, but I'm back at it with another video, and today, this is the Thule Enroute 25L camera backpack. But don't let the camera backpack moniker fool you. This isn't exactly a camera backpack in the traditional sense. It doesn't have those cubic or rectangular shaped sections for your cameras and lenses. Rather, think of a regular backpack with a dedicated space for a camera and a lens, or maybe a small camera and a couple lenses. So let's start with my overall rating for this backpack, and that is a 9 out of 10. That includes the value for money, what it does for what it's marketed as, and overall usability. So yeah, 9 out of 10, pretty excellent score. And let's get into the review a little bit more. So let's start with a tour of this backpack. So let's start in the way back, where the stuff is relatively predictable. The shoulder straps and the shoulder padding is pretty solid, and but in a good way. It's soft and it's comfortable. I've tested this out on various hikes just to get the blood pumping and test the overall rigidity and comfort of it. And I'd have to say I'm impressed. The shoulder straps are soft, and this area offers pretty solid support. And there's also a very useful clip, which is pretty standard on these types of backpacks, as well as yes, you're seeing it right, a laptop compartment. This laptop compartment is oftentimes missing on a lot of different camera bags, so this may prove very useful to you if you want to carry around, a laptop to view your photos on. So there's that, and it also includes a little tablet sleeve and a couple other pockets to store any other accessories. In the next compartment, which is really the beef of this backpack, is enclosed by little clasps instead of zippers, and you just open like that and unroll it. This oftentimes is not so well implemented, but on this backpack it's pretty seamless, pretty easy to use. And finally, it is clasped by a magnet. Also note that this major design difference is pretty useful in the sense that if you have a lot more gear, you can just roll it over once and then clasp it like so, like that, and now you have more space. Or instead of that, based off of the amount of gear again, you can roll it several times like so and get a much more compact design. So again, this bag can adapt to your needs whenever you need it. So that's again a useful thing. So if we open that up here, as we can see, it's pretty spacious. And down here, you can definitely tell that there is a lot of space, except at the bottom where a little bulge peeks out. And obviously, we're gonna get to that in a little bit. But as you may be able to tell, this area has plenty of storage. There is a massive little pocket here, and then there's a zipped pocket here. And yeah, so you can get away with storing a lot of good stuff here. And that's basically it for the main section. And now for the front. The front is where things get unique and a little bit more complicated. So this zipper right here offers storage for accessories and small items that you have to carry, like a wallet, maybe your camera batteries or a few filters, and that's exactly what I store in it. So in the time that I've been using this, I've put my camera batteries. I fit camera batteries for both of my cameras, and also a few camera accessories, stuff like lens filters and other stuff like that. So for example, I have some flash related accessories and details like that. So you have, again, one zipped pouch and then two small pouches over here. And that concludes the main, well, this section of the front. Again, it's really good, and there's space for a few more accessories in the main body of that area instead of just putting it in the zipped pocket or the other two small pockets. I also usually store my camera lens cleaning kit there. So yeah, there's plenty of space. Now on to the next pocket. If you turn the backpack to the side, you can see this area right here, and that is where you can conveniently store various stuff. I've usually put little bars here, stuff that I can snack on. You can put all sorts of thin items there. Nothing too bulky though, I would not recommend that. And then finally, on this other side pocket, you can access the body of the backpack. This is again the main section that we have access to earlier. And then the last side zipper is this pocket here, and this is where you can conveniently store a water bottle. You can store a Gorilla Pod. You can also even clasp your tripod onto it. I've tested that, and trust me, it works. I just wouldn't recommend turning too fast because it could slip off. But overall, it's pretty good, very secure, and all of these pockets serve a purpose. They're very useful. It's also worth noting that it has this little portion on the side of the backpack, and you can put little things here, something that ties along, and that could be potentially useful if you want to clasp, I don't know, a utility knife or something like that. I personally haven't really used it, but it's worth noting that they have included it. Finally, the highlight of this backpack is the camera portion. So if we turn it to its side, we can see this section. So if we open that, there's this little section, and this little pod, which is what they call it, is dedicated to storing the camera. So once you open that, this section is relatively spacious. As you can see, I have a lens stored in here. So you can store a full camera and a lens. I stored my Nikon D5300, and this relatively large for like beginner photographer or something like that, relatively large 18 to 140 millimeter lens, and they all fit without any issue. So you get these dividers, and you get two of these, and you can accessorize how you want to place them. With that said, in that same pocket space, there's also this pocket up here, which is a zip pocket. Again, you probably don't want to put anything too large in there because this is a pretty tight fit as it is. But what if you just want to head out into town or to school or something like that, and you don't want to bring your camera? Well, you can just leave it, and there's a conveniently placed string tie like this, and you just do that, and the camera section is now closed, and now all you have to do is use it as a regular backpack. And as you can see from the inside, you have all the space back. So you can also double this as a regular backpack rather than a camera backpack, which is overall pretty useful. And also, does this backpack stand up on its own? Not really. Again, it does depend on what you put inside the backpack, but you're relatively sure that you can rest assured that it won't usually stand up on its own, and you're better off leaning it against something. But overall, pretty solid, and seeing as the base is made out of the same waterproof fabric, you don't have to really worry about things getting really dirty or soggy. And I mean, you can even wipe it clean if it does get dirty. So how does this do at what it's meant to do? Well, if you're, for example, going on a hike and you want to carry a camera and maybe a lens, you're not a hardcore photographer, but you want to carry a few things, you want to maybe pop a water bottle in there too, maybe a few bars, then I would totally recommend this. Can you find some stuff that are cheaper? Maybe, probably, but this, for what it does, is really, really good. And one really useful thing is that this is a very tight waterproof weave, and that's extremely useful. And yes, I have tested it, and it is 100% waterproof. One con, on the other hand, is that these zippers are not waterproof, so if you're in extremely heavy rain, you may want to watch out for that. I don't see it as a major concern, but it's worth knowing, and it would have been better if Thule had included some sort of flap over the zipper, and I've seen that on many other backpacks. That would be useful here, especially given the type of backpack that they tried making here. But other than that, there aren't really many cons. So would I recommend this to a hardcore photographer? Absolutely not. And by now, I'm sure that you've noticed, it doesn't have a whole lot of space dedicated to cameras. But the space that it does have is pretty solid, and it works really well as just an all-around backpack that can carry a little bit of gear. So if you're a vlogger, if you're a YouTuber, if you're an amateur photographer that likes to walk around a lot and doesn't want to carry a dedicated camera backpack, but wants to have a sort of do-it-all backpack, I would 100% recommend this. And as of this review, the pricing is on the expensive side for a backpack. It's about $150, but for what you get, I think that's worth it. So let me know what you think about this, and hit me up down in the comments if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to answer them, and I'm always there. So yeah, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time.